Hi everyone, Emery Parsons here from PDMG. Today I'm going to be talking with you all about Amazon delivery speed metrics. We talked about Seller Fulfilled Prime, the Amazon program, a couple weeks ago, and we touched a little bit on those delivery speed metrics and the targets that you need to hit to remain in the program. But today we're going to focus just on delivery speed metrics and targets and just dive into that section of Seller Fulfilled Prime just a little bit more, talking about best practices for hitting those delivery speed targets for your 1 and 2 day delivery promises, tips, pages to watch, all that good stuff. Okay, so we're going to start with what are delivery speed metrics. So delivery speed metrics are just the number of calendar days between when a customer views your product detail page, so they're going to look at your product on the page on Amazon, and the promised delivery date on that product detail page. So the promised delivery date that the customer sees on your listing. So these metrics measure the percentage of product detail page views that show a 1 or 2 day delivery promise. And this is for standard and oversized products. Okay, so what are delivery speed targets? The targets are that percentage that I just mentioned above. So the percentage of product detail page views that must show a 1 or 2 day delivery promise, again, for standard and oversized products. Like I mentioned earlier and in our other post a couple of weeks ago, these percentages that we're going to talk about need to be hit for each product in the Seller Fulfilled Prime program. Amazon requires these percentages to remain in that program. Okay, so if you see this symbol with the less than equal sign 1 day, that's the percentage of your product detail page views with a delivery speed of 1 calendar day or less. Same goes for the 2 day right here, less than or equal to 2 day product detail page view percentage. Okay, so how are these percentages of each metric calculated? So Amazon takes the number of product detail page views with either a 1 or a 2 day, and then they divide by the total number of product detail page views. So all the total product detail page views. That's how they get the percentage. And then what are the targets that I should be hitting for each metric? So what percentage do I need to get to for standard and oversized products? Okay, so these are the delivery speed targets as stated by Amazon for February 1, 21 through the end of 2021. Okay, so for standard size, your 1 day product detail page view needs to be at 20%, and then your 2 day needs to be at 55%, but that includes the 1 day. So just note here that 20% is the bare minimum for 1 day product detail page views. Okay, so then for oversized products, the 1 day is 5% and the 2 day is 30%. Again, 2 day includes the 1 day. So again, 5% is the bare minimum. So just be sure to note if you sell like only standard size products or only oversized products, or you have a combination of both. So you're going to need to watch the targets in accordance with what size products you sell. Okay, so pages to watch and track. This is super important and going to be really helpful when you're trying to stay on top of what your percentages are and making sure you're doing everything correctly. Okay, so one really great page is the Seller Fulfilled Prime performance page. So this page is going to show your delivery speed metrics at the top, and then it's going to create a graph of your Amazon delivery speed targets compared to your actual delivery speed targets. So it's going to show what your actual is, and then it's going to show what Amazon wants. So like I was saying up here, that 30%, that 5%, that 20, or that 55. So it's going to show those Amazon requireds compared to your actual. And then it's also going to show you the number of product detail page views. And then you can just adjust the date range so you can see, by the past month, the past year, whatever you want to look at. And then in addition to the delivery speed metrics, there's a tab in this page where you can also look at your eligibility metrics. So that's going to be like your cancellation rate and all those other requirements for staying in the Seller Fulfilled Prime program. So this page is really great too, just for your overall Seller Fulfilled Prime program, just looking at all of your percentages and numbers, not just for the delivery speed metrics. Okay, and then the speed report. So you can adjust the time frame for this too, just like the Seller Fulfilled Prime Performance page. But what it actually does is it shows you a list of your Seller Fulfilled Prime products and the percentage of product detail page views for each delivery promise. And what this does is it helps you identify which ASINs might be keeping you down from hitting those targets. So one might be lower than the others. And then you'll also just want to note the product's ASIN and the size classification, so whether it's standard or oversized, and then the total product detail page views. And this report's going to break it down by the 1 day, the 2 day, and then actually greater than 2 as well. So you can see which ones are taking more than 2 days to deliver. Okay, so let's talk about now how to improve delivery speed metrics, just kind of some tips for really trying to hit all of those percentages. Okay, so most important, you're going to need to increase coverage of 1 day delivery. So you just need to try to add as many states as you can to your Prime shipping templates. The more places you're shipping, the more you'll be able to increase. Okay, so shipping region automation. You'll definitely want to make use of this. You just automate your shipping services, and this ensures that your delivery promises are accurate. By telling Amazon where you ship from and what service you're going to use, Amazon will actually automatically calculate your accurate transit times from the different regions, and they use their own data to do this. So this is just going to save you time, and you don't have to do it manually. And they auto refresh it too, so it's always up to date. Okay, so another tip, when you're building your Prime shipping template, you just want to be really aware of the delivery zone limits and, be sure to select those. So it's just a proxy for your shipping costs. Let's say, for example, you selected delivery zone limit 8 for a 2-day delivery and you're using UPS. The automated shipping regions will be limited to where you can deliver in 2 days from your address within the scope of the UPS ground zone 8. And the delivery zone limit is what allows you to control more precisely the shipping regions and allow you to increase your coverage and hit those targets, but it also helps you control your shipping costs. So let's just say, for example, a shipping method's eligible 2-day coverage, just Amazon puts it across multiple zones. What you can do to control your cost is just go in to Amazon into your Seller Central account and use the delivery zone limit and adjust the regions and the zones so that you don't have coverage like going across multiple zones and increasing your costs. Okay, so let's talk about cutoff times now. It's a good idea to set your cutoff time later in the day and then adjust your pickup time accordingly. But of course, this is going to be based on your carrier's pickup schedule. So carriers have different schedules. If you use multiple ones, you need to adjust for all those carriers. You can set cutoff times and pickup times for each day of the week that you operate. Remember, Seller Fulfilled Prime, you need to be doing 6 days a week. And this is another great reason to use shipping region automation, because if you don't use shipping region automation, the cutoff time that you set will just be the same for each day. But with shipping region automation, you can be a little bit more specific and go day by day. Just don't forget that the cutoff time has to be a minimum of 30 minutes and a maximum of 3 hours before the pickup time. And the latest pickup time that Amazon allows is 6 p.m. So if we go back to that 30 minutes and 3 hours, that means your latest cutoff time can be 5:30. And we're going to suggest trying to get as close to this 5:30, 6 o'clock as you can, as late in the day as you can. But of course, be in accordance with your operation and your carriers and allow enough time to pick, pack, and ship. But why do we want to do this? Having your cutoff times and pickup times later in the day lets you show the customer a faster delivery promise for a longer period of time over the course of that day. Okay, next tip is just keep in mind your zip codes. So a region will be labeled as prime when the selected shipping service can deliver on time to all zip codes in that region. So all of the zip codes. If there are certain zip codes in a region that don't allow for on-time prime delivery, that region is going to be turned off. So you just need to make sure you're aware of this. Next is get more warehouse space. And it really helps if you can spread out your warehouses to cover different regions of the country. You just need as much coverage as possible. You can also partner with a third party for fulfillment to ensure that you hit one-day targets, and you must use shipping services that can get products to customers on the weekends. Because remember, you've got to do that 6 days, so you need to include either Saturday or Sunday. Okay, so I think that about covers it for delivery speed metrics. I will include links to go to those pages that I suggested you watch and track down at the bottom, link to our website and our LinkedIn as well. So just be sure to check all of those out and let us know if you have any questions. Thanks so much.